automation is a tool for convenience, that its whole point is to save us time, to save us effort. But that popular understanding, well, it misses the real story entirely. Automation isn't really about convenience. At its core, it is a mechanism of control. And yeah, we experience those surface benefits every single day. Things like one-click checkout, a smart thermostat that adjusts itself, or an automatic bill payment. But just beneath that easy surface, a much deeper structural change is happening. Power is shifting. It's moving away from you, the user, and toward the architect of the system. So to really understand this shift, we first need to pull apart that popular story, the one that frames automation as just a helpful tool. It's a nice story, for sure, but it's only half the picture. So the common belief is that automation is there to save us work. But the system insight, the reality of it, is that it shifts power. Every single time a process gets automated, the ability to make a choice, your agency, is transferred from the person using the system to the person who designed it. Okay, so if automation's main job isn't just about cutting down on our effort, then what is its core function? The answer is in what exactly it automates. This right here, this is the heart of the matter. Automation doesn't automate your labor. It automates the choices that you would have made. You can think of any automated system as just a bundle of pre-made decisions, all designed to run without you even thinking about it. And when we say decision in this context, we're talking about more than just a single choice. It's the entire architecture of the system. It's the defaults that are already set for you. It's the triggers that kick off an action, and it's the very limited set of options you have to choose from in the first place. Think about it. The default settings on your new phone, the rules that trigger an automatic bank transfer, the specific options you see in a drop-down menu. None of these are neutral. They are all decisions that have been coded directly into the system, and they're shaping your behavior before you even make a move. And here's the crucial part. Once these choices get automated, they become invisible. They just fade into the background, becoming part of the operating system of our lives, running quietly, without our conscious thought or our direct input. Now, when decisions become this kind of invisible infrastructure, it creates a fundamental redistribution of power. And this is where we start to see control emerging, not from a person, but directly from the system's design. This power shift tends to happen in 3 steps. First, the system locks in certain behaviors by just making them the default path, the path of least resistance. Second, it gets rid of or at least hides other alternatives, making it harder to do something different. And finally, by constraining the inputs, it produces standardized, predictable outcomes. And this kind of control is surprisingly hard to escape. If you want to opt out, it requires friction. You have to go out of your way to do it. But if you want to actually change the system itself, that requires authority, a level of access that most of us as users simply don't have. This whole distinction becomes crystal clear when you compare automated systems directly to their manual counterparts. You start to see they operate on completely different principles. A manual system needs our constant attention. It lets us intervene at any time. But it tends to break down when things get too complex or you try to scale it up. Automated systems are the exact opposite. They are built to run without our attention. They enforce consistency, which is what allows them to scale up in a very predictable way. And that really gets to the fundamental difference. Success in a manual system is all about sustained effort. But success in an automated system? That all depends on its initial design. All the important work is done up front, baked into the system's architecture. So what happens when these automated systems scale up across all of society? Well, the consequences are pretty significant. The control that's embedded in their design starts to have these broad systemic effects that are really easy to miss if you're not looking for them. First off, the very mechanism of control becomes invisible. Power isn't being used through direct orders, it's just embedded in the defaults and the pathways of the systems we use every day. We naturally follow the path of least resistance, never even seeing the invisible walls that are guiding us. Second, responsibility gets really murky. If an automated system leads to a bad outcome, who's actually accountable? The user who just clicked a button, the engineer who wrote a piece of code, the manager who set the requirements? The system itself makes it incredibly hard to find clear lines of accountability. And third, all of this makes these systems incredibly difficult to challenge. Because their internal logic is hidden and their operations are scaled across millions of users, questioning an outcome can feel like trying to argue with a law of nature. The system just is.
This brings us to a final, really critical question. If automation works by embedding decisions in order to exercise control, then is understanding this process just a technical skill for engineers, or has it become a fundamental literacy for anyone who wants to navigate the modern world? This channel explains money, artificial intelligence, and decision-making as interconnected systems. No hype, no gurus, no personal branding. New videos weekly.